My greatest idol is Beyonce. My greatest idol is
Say?
That's right.
How was it like meeting her?
I could not speak.
Really?
Really, that's someone I really looked up to for a long time.
Well, it seems like Rihanna is about to bring down Jay Z and Beyonce's billionaire empire because she been out here spilling the tea about how their marriage ain't nothing but a sham. Did y'all know Riri was one of the truth tellers in the industry? Because I, for one, didn't know. And it seems like that's exactly what she's doing because sources are saying she has receipts on how Jay Z mistreats Beyonce and basically has her trapped in a marriage she doesn't want to be in. What's crazier is that people are saying Rihanna knows all this because she has seen firsthand just how toxic Jay can be because she allegedly used to be on his roster. Chilly, this is one hot mess. But does Rihanna really have receipts of Jay mistreating Beyonce? And is this the reason why there seems to be bad blood between her and Beyonce? Let's break it down. So, unless you're living under a rock, you must have heard the rumors that Rihanna and Jay used to be an item on the low and that Jay kept Riri on his roster for years. For context, Rihanna and Jay Z met in 2005 when she walked right into Jay Z's office at Def Jam Studios with nothing but nerves and a killer voice. At the time, Jay was already a boss in the industry, one of those people up-and-coming artists had to somehow mingle with if they wanted to make it in the industry. Rihanna, on the other hand, was a teenager from Barbados hoping to make something out of herself. Rihanna has talked about just how nerve-wracking the entire experience was for her many times.
The sign, it was my very first time meeting a celebrity and I was really nervous. I was really scared. I remember being in the lobby before I met him, just shaking. But after I met him, he's one of the coolest people I've ever met. So he made the atmosphere very comfortable for me to audition.
Even Jay Z has had only positive things to say about the encounter, as he should have because it took just that one meeting for him to be convinced that Riri was a star girl.
She actually walked into my office. She has a lawyer, Scott Felcher, and he knew Jay Brown, who works with me, and they made the introduction. He played him this song, Upon the Replay, which was her first single she had already. And she walked into the office and you know, I heard the record and I was really afraid of the record. It was so big that I thought the record would be bigger than her.
Right.
I thought the record, she would be the Upon the Replay girl.
Forever.
Yeah, so, but I took the meeting anyway. I said, let me just meet her. And
beautiful
when
girl.
I met her that day, I knew she was a star. Like, just her look, the way she walked into a room and her confidence, and she performed in my office.
And she was what, 17 years old at that point?
She was 16.
16, and she has the confidence of it. She's like an old soul in a sense, right?
Absolutely.
So she walks in your office, and what, she just belts out a tune?
Belts out a tune, she performs, and I tell her, there's no way out of this office. I signed her that day.
Wow. Wow.
However, it seems like Jay Z started to see Riri as more than just the new talent he had to manage, and he started trying to put her on his roster. Mind you, Rihanna was barely an adult at the time, and Jay was pushing 40. Now, some sources claim that Rihanna and Jay Z never actually had an affair, and Rihanna's publicist later came owned up to creating rumors about Rihanna and Jay dating to push her music. Allegedly, he didn't even think it was going to be that big of a deal. In a statement, the guy said, "The PR stunt that I did was out of desperation to help break Ponda Replay. It was reckless, and I didn't think it was going to work. I was just throwing spaghetti at the wall to see what would stick. I'm ashamed that I'm even talking about this. I just want to put this rumor to rest once and for all." The publicist claimed he felt compelled to clear the air because he could see how much the rumors and speculations were hurting Beyonce, and it made him feel sick. However, other sources say Jay strong-armed the guy into taking the fall for the entire situation so he could continue enjoying Riri on the side. Also, didn't Jaguar Wright claim Rihanna got herpes from Jay Z? Now, just because Jag said it doesn't mean it's true, but we all know that Jaguar Wright doesn't say things she doesn't have receipts for. In case you don't know where all this herpes talk is coming from, well, remember when Chris Brown was arrested for putting hands on Rihanna? Well, TMZ reported that Chris Brown responded by filing a lawsuit against her, claiming $10 million in compensation for causing him bodily harm. He also filed for a restraining order against her because he was afraid she would cause him more bodily harm. So, what's the bodily harm in question? Well, from the horse's mouth, this is what we have. Rihanna gave me herpes, and then when I threatened to file a lawsuit against her for not telling me she was infested with blisters, she began to hit herself in the face and thrown herself into walls, just as Jim Carrey did in the movie. Liar, liar. Then she turned around and blamed me for the matter as a form of punishment. Again, just because Chris Brown said it doesn't mean it happened, but y'all can't deny that there's definitely something there that isn't making sense. As you can expect, Beyonce was not happy about this situation at all. There have even been reports reports that she and Jay Z were forced to split up for some time because the tension was just too much, and it was not healthy for Bey to be in that space. That's also allegedly why Beyonce seems to have had beef with Rihanna for years. There have been reports that Beyonce reportedly tried to sabotage Rihanna's career by making her album leak early on Tidal and paying people to undermine her success. What's crazy is that if you've ever followed Rihanna, you'll know that there have been many times in the past where she's talked about how much she adores Beyonce. She even once talked about Beyonce writing her a cute letter and trying to show her the ropes of the industry when she was just starting her career.
Yeah, she actually wrote me this cute little letter and she signed it with her autograph. It was so cute. When I first met her.
You would expect that, given all that. Bey would have at least one song with Riri. I mean, she does have songs with Nicki and Megan Thee Stallion, but when it comes to Riri, it's nothing. And you know it's not coming from Riri's side because she has talked about how she would love to work with Bey many times. However, the only time Beyonce has ever had anything to do with Rihanna is when she dissed her in her track, Bow Down. If word on the street is anything to go by, then Beyonce is not willing to work with Rihanna because she still has some lingering anger from when Rihanna allegedly had an affair with Jay Z, whether those rumors are true or not. And you can't blame Bey because she's always out here minding her business, and Hobbs stays embarrassing her. It's actually really sad when you think about the fact that Beyonce was literally a child when she met and started dating Jay Z, and he was already pushing 30. On top of that, Bey has talked about how she didn't have much experience with men before she and Jay started dating, again because she was a child. Girl, I can't even. He's everything she's known when it comes to romantic relationships, and he just keeps doing her dirty. That's why Rihanna is allegedly telling Beyonce, "Girl, you have a lot more to worry about than your lil beef with me." Word on the street is that Rihanna has inside scoop on how Jay controls and manipulates Beyonce, and it's because she experienced the same thing during their rumored affair. So, rumors that Beyonce is under Jay's control have been flying around for a while now, and the fact that Beyonce casually admits Jay made her into a woman many times doesn't help matters at all. But I mean, when an 18-year-old is dating a 30-year-old, of course he made her into a woman. But what y'all really need to be worried about is what Beyonce is going through in that marriage. Jaguar Wright spilled the tea on Beyonce and Jay-Z's marriage in an interview where she said Beyonce is basically living in bondage. She said Bey is not allowed to make any decisions or do anything for herself, and that Jay keeps guards on her 24/7 and puts taps on her phones. What's crazy is that Jaguar Wright is not the only one who has said something along that line about Bey and Jay. Their former bodyguard, Uncle Ron, also had a lot to say about them. Uncle Ron has worked with many artists as a bodyguard, and there are some pictures of him with Beyonce, probably from when they worked together. Well, according to him, Jay keeps Beyonce hooked on substances for whatever reason, probably so he can control her.
Hardly nobody knows, but I'll say it, man. Yeah, Beyonce's on drugs. She been on them for a long time, and you keep her that way. Y'all wish it what you wish it to stay on top.
And you know what? It's not that difficult to believe because Jay is very proud of his past as a substance pusher, so he would know how to get someone hooked. Oh, but Beyonce doesn't look drugged. She looks healthy. Well, of course she does. She's literally a billionaire. But also, just look at this video and tell me she doesn't look like she's on something. Anyway, Uncle Ron also said Beyonce and Jay have scammed y'all because on the surface, they look like the perfect family, but it's all just a business transaction. Even Akon said the same thing a while back. In 2014, Akon said in an interview that Jay and Beyonce's marriage feels corporate, like more of a business than a lovey-dovey situation. To be fair, the Carters' relationship seems to have worked well for them so far. They're probably the biggest it couple in the music industry today. But at what cost? This woman literally made an album talking about how her husband was disrespecting, hurting, and taking advantage of her. Then there's the infamous Solange footage where she was just ripping into Jay. However, people are now speculating that Beyonce might be leaving Jay behind soon because he's about to get caught up in some very wild storm, Diddy style. Word on the street is that Diddy has receipts of many Hollywood A-listers at his parties, doing all sorts of weird things, if you know what I mean. And if he's going down, he's dragging all of them with him. However, Jaguar Wright recently made a video telling Beyonce to stick with her man because she's been with him while he was running wild and ruining other people's careers for her benefit, so she can't just dip now. Anyway, fans have dropped their opinions on this whole situation, with one saying, "Rihanna, a rare gem, fascinating and talented. I enjoy her her as an artist. I hate that they all endure stupidity to entertain us. I would choose Rihanna over Beyonce any day. Another person said, I frankly never cared for Jay Z. I know I'm in the minority, but I always got a creepy vibe, a womanizer vibe. I mean, a cheater, always a cheater, right? But now I want to know what y'all think about Beyonce allegedly being taken advantage of by Jay Z. Comment down below, and as usual, check out this next video.